Brony Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut. It's Chris Burns. It's Chris Lynch. This is Dysfunction Junction.
And somehow 30 years ago, we came to this very spot.
No, it was supposed to be this. That was supposed to mix in. I wanted to mix in some applause.
Oh, I like that.
Came in as it was nice.
Instead, we got the 30 years ago button.
Yeah. Which is still relevant for all three of us together in the same fucking cast anyway.
Exactly. So. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to where normal meets the abnormal. Welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Okay, yeah.
My name is Chris Burns. On the screen to what looks to be my immediate right, my co-host,
Chris Lynch.
And, of course, from the home office in Poop Hole, Colorado, fresh off a trip to the Loaf and Jug, it is Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up, everybody? To the Loaf and Jug.
Welcome back to the Loaf and Jug. That's right. Oh, my God. The shit that we talk about before we go on, we should never put all of it out there.
No, not in one continuous stream. Tidbits would be all right.
Tidbits would have been fine.
Bird, what the hell is he doing? Is he grocery shopping? What the fuck?
He's going to get his buffering. He's got knee and back problems, and
there's edibles and ass in there.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, before the show, Lynch took an edible, so the over/under on hearing the first mention of butt stuff is about 30 minutes.
What's the first rectum reference?
I got 6:15.
Killed him.
I got 6:15 by my watch, so by 6:45, Lynch will have at least talked about butt stuff once.
Something to do with anal will happen. It's just going to happen.
We haven't had a good Facebook thread in a while, so the next time we do, guys, that'll go up on the page. Always a fun time reading the stupid shit we say to each other.
Oh, yes, it's enlightening, and someday scholars will read it and just
shake their head in shame,
just not know what the fuck was going on. And that's
there's a certain amount of wisdom that comes out of what we say on these threads, but it's also masked in about 30 feet of bullshit.
Yeah, and a little bit of hate.
Oh yeah, you could say that.
Did you see what that motherfucker said?
Fuck him. I saw it. I'm going back in.
Because Lynch has so many good things to talk about this week. And we have, some post-election bullshit we need to talk about, especially to my good friends in Pennsylvania. You all need therapy. I've got a quick hit. Please.
I got a theory on that. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I have a theory on it too. However, let's not ruin a good time. Because the Eagles are definitely better than the Eagles. So says your new United States Senator, people of Pennsylvania. I saw a video today, a TikTok video, and I want to find it. I want to send it to Herm. Somehow we can integrate it onto the show. You guys have heard me joke. You can see my name today on the screen if you're watching with us, Octogendarian. I've always made the joke there's 37 genders. We're adding new ones every day. I think I found the dumbest one. The newest one is called trigender.
Oh.
Now, it goes a little further than gender fluid. Now, this particular person says they identify as male, female, and non-binary all at once.
How is that possible?
That's what I'm saying, because everything's binary. It means you can be counted. You are a part of something. So saying you're non-binary, basically you're denying your own existence.
Right.
But this young lady said,
well, wait a minute. So
go ahead.
So people don't want to be binary. So the two groups are now people that are binary and people that are non-binary, right?
So you're denying your own existence. You don't count.
So you don't want a binary system. So there's people who do want it and people that don't want it, and so we're back to a binary system again.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, I don't understand how you can be or identify. It should, because it's going to get worse.
Ow.
Oh, it's going to get worse.
They identify as all three of these things at the same time, whereas like the gender fluid folks or the two-spirit folks, they feel this one day and this the next. But this person says, I feel all three of them at the same time.
Oh, I
feel-
have some.
What are they? What are they again? They said they were what?
Trigender. They identify
What's
as male.
trigender?
Trigender, three, like a triangle.
Yeah.
The
Male,
double
female.
triangle.
To this person, it means male, female, and non-binary. Other examples that I have found,
Oh, wait. What's non-binary?
it's that thing
binary.
where they don't want to be counted anymore.
Okay, I think that only applies to like the fucking census, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
But-
But some of the other ones,
So wait. So you're male, female, and now so you're
and non-binary. So you counted twice and not counted at all.
all right.
So it's a double negative.
Here,
Boom.
I'm gonna simplify this for the viewers at home. So you're bi.
Yeah.
No, she's tri.
So you're bi. Exactly.
try
You're
anything.
one or the other.
Once.
Or, right.
Right.
I'm a purchase sexual. I will pay for anybody to do anything as long as I'm paying for it. But ooh, there's a bug.
Make sure you see your doctor after that because you don't want to come home with the drip.
That's right. You don't want to come home with the drip. But
Cauliflower
you
dick.
know,
Have we seriously
I don't
gone
think
too
I don't
far?
think you can. I think that is too far. I don't think you can be male or female or non because you're either you whatever you're sleeping with. You kind of got to hit one of those groups, don't you? Unless you're humping a furry.
That happens too.
You're
Don't
gonna hit
forget,
one
we
more.
also
But
have-
but you're a furry, so it's
It's just a
is
dude
it
in
a
a
male?
costume.
Are you a male horse or a female horse? I guess is what I need to know. Is what
Lift up the tail. Figure it out for
That's what I'm
yourself.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's even the animals have to know one. It's a binary system. So
It's like the whole thing. I heard somebody say it late last week. A friend of mine who was upset with this whole Latinx thing. He goes, "No, the whole Spanish language is gendered for a reason." And by
With
white
Texas.
folk, woke white folk saying, "Oh, we shouldn't do that. We should call them Latinx."
Totally
No,
agree.
you're
No.
taking away. That's what he's saying. He says you're taking away my identity.
no, because as somebody of Latino descent on my father's side,
Hmm.
no, no. The whole it has nothing to do, and what they don't understand is that the gendering of things isn't a negative or positive connotation attached to it at all. It doesn't make one better or worse.
Right.
It's a
It
way
just
to
makes
refer
you-
to a man or a woman, and they believe in a man or a woman,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much all there is to it. You can create any words you want, and lots of
You
foreign
basically be changing
languages
the
will
entire
pull
language.
English. When I worked years ago, Chris, when I used to work the mushroom farm, you'd hear guys talking, all right, and
Franklin
I'm gonna be a
Mushroom
little
Farm.
crude with the Spanish stereotype. It would be Michael Jordan. All right. There are certain words that you can take in English and kind of you basically have to cherry pick, like, what is the words for in Spanish for cross or transportation, what's the root on that? And you can do it, and you can create new words like transsexo or whatever your fucking new word is. It's a transsexo. All right.
That is going to be my new luchador character,
For real,
Transexo.
Transsexo. But a lot of
I like to say salsa.
other languages they don't really have a word for it. It's just kind of taking the roots that they know and putting them together. So in languages where there's a connotation, the whole everything is done for a reason. It's done to express because that's the way their language is. It's just
Any language other than fucking English is probably gendered.
English is not a language, all right? English
Right.
is three languages, one on top of the other, in a trench coat trying to sneak into the movies. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what English is. It's not a real language. It
Uh,
is three languages in a trench coat trying to sneak into the movie.
It's
It's
also
funny you say
it's
that.
also a language that people think they can just change the meaning of words willy nilly to fit what they want. I
Yeah,
know
fit
what
their
I know what
narrative.
phobia means. It doesn't mean I hate somebody. Phobia is I've said it before, an irrational fear of
Irrational
someone
fear.
or something. I am not afraid of trans people. I am not afraid of trigender people. I think we've gone too far. I think it's time to pull the plug on this
Right. I'm not a
bullshit.
phobe. I'm not a phobe. I just don't agree with it. I don't have to agree with it and to be scared of it. Look,
Not
I
only
don't-
that,
I-
the definitions these people put in front of these words, and I'm not saying these people to be rude. I'm putting them in a category, a binary. And the definition changes so often, so daily. It's like you can't even define what you are because tomorrow you're going to wake up and the whole definition is going to change. You know,
Well,
just
and-
because I say something you don't like, that's not hate speech. It's just something you hate to hear. Hate speech would be if I called Herm some dirty Mexican slurs, if I called Lynch some Irish gimmick slurs, or you guys said slurs to me. That's hate
right,
speech.
right.
Hate speech is not, I don't believe in the 99 genders. I don't have 99 genders, but bitch, I got one. And that's
Yeah.
where I'm going to leave it. This has gone far too fucking far.
Yeah, I always used to have this argument with a friend of mine, a very old friend of mine, about English.
Is that
And English
ageism?
isn't.
Is that
Yeah.
ageism?
It might be. It was at least 30 plus years ago.
It's one of the isms.
I identify as being 80. Does that make me 80?
No.
There
can't
you go.
change Time.
Can't change your gender either,
Yeah.
fuckers.
You're not a fish.
But I always used to say.
You're not a fish, exactly, my man.
I used to say about English, it's not really our language because we stole it from and combined, like Mike said, you combine it from 3 or 4 other different sources. And to prove my point, I put in a VHS tape of a film in German. It was Das Boot.
Great
Great.
fucking movie.
Fucking movie.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
It's one of the only movies I'll watch with subtitles and just fucking
So you're
glued to it.
you're getting to my point. I made him turn around and listen to the movie. He understood 90% of it because 90% of German is the same thing as English. It's just said with a different fucking accent.
And a couple
Yeah,
extra
well,
letters and
Right,
syllables.
extra
too.
letters.
right.
Russian is Cyrillic, so that's really difficult to translate. There's
Oh,
no
Russian's
comparison in English.
extremely difficult. They have like 27 vowels and they have upper and lowercase consonants, bro. Like,
And the Asian languages are the same way. I can be from one place in China and not understand a guy that lives 50 miles away from me because there's different dialects.
the dialects.
That Cantonese,
Right,
the Mandarin.
and
It's
and-
not
and
just
the-
a fucking menu item. Those are that's
right,
where
and those
the country.
and the Asian languages like Japanese, Chinese, and all of those
Korean.
Asian languages, those are all they're I consider them musical languages because
the-
you can
depending
say
on the
the
inflection
you can say the exact same word 4 different ways.
and 4 different meanings.
Japanese is a language of octaves. Actually, it's
Yeah.
about how you say the first syllable and each syllable and what octave high low you say, because you can say words that start with a low octave, high octave, low octave, and it means something else.
No,
If
wa
you-
bin du wa.
Right. And if you change that,
That's why they talk like that.
Yeah, exactly, because one is it's how it's accentuated, and you can say the exact same 4 syllables 6 different ways and mean 6 completely different things that have nothing to do with each other.
I used to work with a security supervisor, security investigator rather. I said, "You ever notice something, Chris?" I said, "No, what's that?" He said, "It's really hard for somebody who speaks an Asian language to whisper, because then you don't know what the fuck they're saying." And
It is.
I thought it was a joke, but it's true because,
No,
like Mike says,
they don't
the-
whisper. They
the
talk
cadence-
they talk privately and quiet, but they do not whisper.
It's the ASMR.
Yeah, the pitches and octaves are what makes the language.
Right,
Then
and
you
you
get like-
and you lose the pitches and octaves when everybody's talking like this.
Yeah, and then
I
you
think I
get the
want to talk like this for the rest
then
of
you
my
get
life.
language like Arabic, which is pictures. It's pictures. And you can write something a little bit similar, just like the Asian languages.
Well, I was going to
If
say
you
it's
leave
very
off a
similar
little-
to Asian. If you leave off a touch or a dot, or the dot is a
Different
little
word.
smeared, you instead of asking for to borrow $1, you told them their mother's a whore. Like, it's literally that. You know what I mean?
about that.
I'm being facetious and
But it's true.
being extreme, but it's
Nothing
true.
my
Like
mother's
those
gonna
languages, like my favorites are all the people that get tattoos, and then when somebody does them, and a real Chinese person is like, "Why you got pork fried rice on your arm?"
Yeah, folks, don't ever get a fucking Chinese lettering tattoo on your body.
No, not
without proofreading.
no. I do want one, and when I get one, Chris got one, and he got one, and what he got was a symbol that was a known symbol, and it was good. It was very easy. If I ever get a tattoo, like a Japanese tattoo, I'm doing it old school, single needle, tapping with the stick. I'm having the Japanese guy write what I'm not telling
You
showing
hope
him a
he's
pic.
going to write what you tell him.
Well, he's going to. You know what
Yo,
I mean? And that's
Dylan, how's your Chinese?
for real. Like why you have egg roll and why you have number 2 combination on your shoulder?
Come
You
here,
like
look
that?
at his arm and say, "Stupid white boy."
For real.
Yeah.
Your arms
Yeah.
say pork fried rice, no egg roll.
Number 27, 2 Coca-Cola in a can.
General So.
Hi. This
General
is the
So
symbol
did eat
for
carrot.
529.
You have Penny?
Everything in a Chinese restaurant. I'll have the whole menu.
Yep.
10 minute. 10 minute.
Except at Kingwa, where it's 10, 15 minute.
10, 15 minutes.
Always best fucking food in Norwich, dude. I will
About how
stand
long?
by
About how
that.
long is that going to take?
Good.
About 10,
10
15 minute.
10, 15 minutes. You know what? We ate there.
You're never wrong.
And you are still there. I ate there basically from the time that we moved in together over on Gear Avenue, and I have stuck with them. Well, let's put it this way. The young girls that were behind the counter were young girls and our age when we started, and now they're running the business.
They run the
that
show.
Their parents had. The two sisters are running the place, and their kids are now in the joint hanging out.
Oh,
doing
yeah.
shit.
What up,
Um,
Leon? Leon Lowry's watching.
Leon, what is
Leon.
up?
What up, brother?
Oh, so yeah, I'm basically pulling the plug on all this gender stupidity. I don't care how you live your life. Let's stop making shit up. It's just you want to be something special, but you can't define what that special thing is, and now you got 16 different definitions. No, fuck you. You know the drill. Twig and berries. Twig and berries, you're a man. Hatchet wound, you're a female.
If you don't define it, then you can't do it wrong or be bad at it.
Well, if you have no
Or you do it
expectation,
if you want to and not. I don't.
if you have no level of expectation or the ability to claim right or wrong, you're never right and you're never wrong.
I'm a
I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day.
I'm a firm
Doesn't mean I have
believer
to
that.
leave my clock broken. Because
Yeah.
I like knowing what time it is.
Yeah.
So, but Chris, your little thing there about gender leads into one thing more for me before
One little more. One
little
little more.
Mo.
Yeah, making fun of Chinese people. Now I'm talking like an asshole. Hello, David Duke.
I was just about to say, my co-host.
Ladies and gentlemen, my
David Duke.
co-host David Duke. How you doing?
The white
Welcome to
robe
the
is
show,
in the
Dave.
cabinet next to you, Chris. If you
Thank
could just
you.
get the hood pressed for me.
Do you want the red robe or the white robe?
I want the red robe.
Oh, you're the Grand Duda. Okay.
I'm the Grand Poobah, this motherfucker up here.
Can you dig it?
Here's my cross.
Oh, listen to you. All right.
Oh,
What
so
do you got
anyway.
what do you got that plays into this octogendarian bullshit?
So I was Ubering yesterday I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not private investigating anymore. I do Uber on the side, and I work for a vending company now.
Hey, hustling,
really-
hustling, man.
That's right.
Hey,
20 bucks is 20
dude.
bucks.
That's right.
Dude, the last Friday through Sunday, I've made some mad cash, and it's profitable. I'm not stupid, and I don't take the wrong rides. So anyway, I pick up these 3 young men, so I think, in New London. No, excuse me, Waterford, and they're going to Mitchell College. So we're going through the ride, and I hear them talking about neo-pronouns and pronouns, and I'm not really listening. But I just every third word, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about there? So I started listening. And at the end of the ride, we got to the restaurant, or we got to Mitchell College. I said, all right, guys, have yourself a great evening. And the one kid looked at me and said, I don't identify that way. I said, okay, you folks have a nice evening. Is that a little bit better? And he kind of look. I said, of course, I said it in my sarcastic way,
No, not you.
and I get the fucking death glare.
Never.
What? I'm sorry. You have chin hair. You present yourself as a guy.
I'd have been like, deuces, bro.
It's funny. We live in a country where
Dude, get out of my car.
when we live in a country where certain people, not everybody, but certain people like to trumpet the fact that they've had an abortion where a baby is sucked out of you with a tube and they get mad and cry when you misgender them. This is why this generation coming up right now will be the death of our nation.
Well, I heard this expression once, and it's absolutely true. What you look like on the outside doesn't define you,
True.
because this is just the casing you're given to live life through. You could, I'm covered in tattoos. I don't dye my beard and my hair black. What makes me is inside
Sure.
how I think and how I feel. So I understand the underlying tone of what they're getting at when they say misgendering. It's not my responsibility to ask a bunch of questions when somebody gets in my Land Rover for a fucking 10-minute Uber ride. Why is it my responsibility? Why should I have to ask you what are your preferred pronouns?
It's getting to a point now where
And
it almost seems like we have to wear name tags. Hi, my name is Slim Shady. I am a
hear
he,
this.
him, they, them, trigender, octo, fuckwad.
I hear this conversation weekend after weekend now with driving with Uber, and it's all kids that are between 17 that I've experienced up to like mid-20s. Again,
Yeah, my pronouns are herd chef.
yeah,
Oh, mine are fuck around and find out, or try me.
mine are hey asshole.
I like that one. So how do you feel today? Are you the hey or are you the asshole?
Pardon.
God bless America.
I'm definitely an asshole.
All right.
I just I
To the
hate
Dennis Leary song.
I hate trying to be felt guilty because I made a simple mistake, and then they're going to look at me like I hate them.
But did you make a
Because
mistake?
according to them, because it's all an interpretation, dude. I can do something perfectly, and if he does it a different way, he can tell me I made a
No,
mistake.
what you did was absolutely correct. Millions of years of mammalian history stand by you. Everything that's been fashionable for the last 35 minutes tell you that you're absolutely right.
And
They can go fuck off. You don't need to, and oh well if they get offended. Good point by Leon right there.
yeah, and I did half-heartedly apologize, but I did it in a sarcastic way, like I always do.
It's okay to
You know, have a nice
apologize.
night.
Uh-oh, Herm's getting close. We got to find out what he wants to say.
Nobody's committed a crime against you if they've offended you.
Oh my God. Misgendered
The
me.
Well,
the Backstreet Boys offend me, but I can't call the police every time they're on the fucking television.
I mean, you could.
I could, but
Well,
you know what's going to happen? Look, those assholes are on TV again, those bitch boys, and I need somebody to do something, officer.
It's
A crime to be offended, and it's not my responsibility to coddle you if you are offended.
Hit
if
it,
you are
Lynch.
offended,
Yeah. So the
I know, Herm.
the whole attitude of society now, the Karens, the Kens or Kevins, the
Kyle.
misgendering, Kyle, whatever the fuck it is. It's all this
holes
privilege.
in the drywall.
They will point at me as a 50-year-old white man and claim I have white privilege. When they every day in and day out walk around this earth with a privileged fucking attitude, like I'm supposed to know who the fuck you are. You know who I am? Do you know what I am? No. And quite frankly, from this interaction, I don't want to fucking know you. And I don't want to be involved with you. Get out of my fucking car. Get out of my house. Where the fuck you are. I don't want nothing with you to do with you. Does that make me a bad person? No. I made a choice. I made a choice just like them. And they are getting the repercussions from the choice they made. Now,
Good on you.
I am not saying that misgendering, don't do it on purpose. Once you know, you know.
Even then, what I don't like, and I always point to my two of my friends who have transgender children over the age of 18. They did things the right way. Because no 8-year-old knows what they are. No 8-year-old knows what they want for dinner, for fuck's sake. So let's stop doing that to the children.
Oh, they do, and then they still don't eat that shit. The little fucking bastards.
Exactly. So when you sit down and you have a conversation, hey, this is how I prefer that you refer to me. They weren't demanding a goddamn thing. And because you came with that respect, you are going to get that respect in return. The minute you tell me I have to do something because of your narcissism, and a lot of it, look, some of these people, I feel bad for them. Gender dysphoria is real. Feeling like you're locked inside the wrong body, I think is real. It's never happened to me. Yes, it has happened to me because I'm a fat schlub, and on the inside, I'm sexy as fuck.
I don't think there's as many legit. You can attack me if you want to. Out there, and I really don't care. I don't think there's as many legitimate cases. I mean, as there are cases that are. It's a mental illness.
It's a mental illness.
It's that
new, people coddle
to. The new hot thing, and I say that, and everybody be like, "Oh, you're old." Yeah, no, I am old. Old. Fuck off.
I have changed with the times since the late 1980s and 1990s. My viewpoints and perspective on life has changed, as has my political views, as has my taste in movies or my taste in books.
Everything.
I have evolved. I have evolved with the times.
Every 10 years, things seem to kind of change. You know what I mean? If you clocked it and you asked me all the same questions at 20, 30, 40, and 50, you're going to get
different answers.
5 different fucking answers. But things change. Like
what is a woman?
No, that answer is pretty much.
All right, hold on. We got a question from John. What do you do when you have a 14-year-old that is trans? I'm holding off until she is 18 to do any augmentation. That is the right thing. Because the whole thing, and again, they're never going to tell you the truth. Correct. Herm knows this. Lynch knows this. I showed them the documentary. What they use for puberty blockers is called Lupron. Do you know what Lupron is most widely known and used for? Chemical castration of pedophiles.
Right. And yes, technically it is reversible because you can stop giving it. However, there are long-lasting body effects that if
osteoporosis, lung growth, that doesn't happen. Yes,
5-6 years down the road, because everybody changes. Decisions change, things change. And unfortunately, at 14, her brain isn't even done doing its thing yet.
It won't be till she's in her 20s.
She's got another 10 years minimum before her brain actually is wired correctly to make the right decisions, the best decisions all the time.
Right.
So what happens? You do it now, and she's on those drugs for the next 10 years, and then she's like, "No, I don't want to," and then her body is messed up. I think holding off until she's 18 and an adult to make that decision for herself is probably the most parenty decision you can make.
It's all right.
He says, I let her dress as a boy, just no augmentation. Hey, cool. You want a binder? Wear a binder. You want to do this? Again, you can't vote till you're 18.
She wants to strap a belt across her. No disrespect, John. She wants to strap a belt across her tits and strap those things down like they're fucking a load on the back of a semi. Fine. All right.
Okay. That's a little weird.
Saying, tight ratchet straps.
Yeah.
Ratchet down. Whatever she wants. Look, I'm crude. It's just the truth. I'm agreeing with him though.
All right.
Yeah, let her. I would let her dress any way she wants to. The worst is, what's she got? She's 14. It's not like she's going to be growing a beard. She's basically going to look like a tomboy or wear dude's clothes, and that's all right. There's no issue with that. Thank you. I get it. Thank you very much. But yeah, as far as the things that could cause lifelong detrimental side effects, what's the side effect to wearing a dude's suit to school as a chick? There isn't.
Nothing.
Maybe somebody busts your stones, but in 10 years, it's still all right. Women wear suits all the time, but I think the whole transition thing, and for as a parent, I think I got to let my kid make that decision legally as an adult. And unfortunately, 18 is too early. I still feel, but legally there isn't much I can do about it. So I can hold out for you as long as possible that you can get enough into your head to make some right decisions. But I mean, we're parents, bro. I think our job is to try and keep our kids safe, and letting her dress or act or think or be whoever she wants to be or he wants to be or whatever, however that works out, that's fine. But I think that medical side and letting that, how would you feel as a parent? You were like, all right, I signed that shit, and 15 years from now, somebody's dying from a drug that they took because you just wanted to be super supportive of my kid. Keep your kid safe, man.
Okay,
if
so
if it feels right, it feels right, and that's all.
Let me piggyback that point, because if I hear that gender affirming care is what parents should do, no, as a parent, and I think Herm said it in different words, I'll say it this way: our job as the parent is to see around corners and let them know the danger that could be around that corner or the beauty that could be around that corner.
I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to keep you safe and make you get as much out of this life as possible.
And I'm also going to give you the coping tools to get through whatever it is you need to get through. And that's part of the problem with today's generation, Gen Z being a perfect example.
You can't handle anything.
They don't know how to cope.
The parents didn't know how to cope real well, so they have no coping tools at all to give to the kids. And the kids are like, we just do it.
So they go through these, what we used to be a phase is now if Johnny, back in the 90s, Johnny
what used to be a saxophone or a guitar or a keyboard or a drum set or all of those, or
all the above,
a fucking 17 different fucking sports that you bought all your shit for. You spent $300 on gear, and now fuck hockey, now it's soccer. But fuck soccer, now it's baseball. Instead of it being all of that, now it's I'm trans, or whatever the new hot thing that it is. I truly feel that way,
and I wholeheartedly agree with that point. Is that the parents of that generation, they had minimal coping skills, and then now the phases, that decision they made, that split decision they made at 14 years old or 13 years old or whatever, how old the kid was, that's for life. If they want to make that decision, and when they're 24 and they're like, what the fuck did I do? I'm not saying that there's a lot of cases like that, but there are documented cases of people.
Right.
No, we've all watched you and you and you and you and you have all watched documentaries. We've all discussed them, and because of this show, they're like, hey, watch this. We'll talk about it. Even if we don't make the show, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
we do that a lot. And we've seen those shows where it was a great idea when I was 14, and now I'm 22. And it's the worst. And my life is a complete shithole. I'm trying to not do meth on a hourly basis or whatever the drug is. You know what I mean? There's usually I firmly believe that drug use isn't the condition; it's a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, Herm, as the elder statesman of the parents here, you have children dating back to 1997.
Yep.
Okay. What Lynch said, I want to ask you about. The kid. The kids now. They can do whatever they want. If you don't affirm them and all this bullshit. And I think it was Lynch that said the parents didn't know how to cope then. I disagree, but I'm going to tell you a part that will agree with it. We started as parents. You starting in 1997, and me somewhat later. The cards were being taken out of our hands. If you yell at your child and the child goes to school, and my dad yelled at me, I feel like that's abuse. Somebody's knocking at your door. It became kids all the power.
It started back then.
Late 90s.
97 was married Trav 97. So it started, well, not late 90s. Late 90s wasn't. I didn't start dealing with it till Trav really started going to school. I think what you had was a lot of us. You had some Gen Xers that totally overstepped the look. We were all three of us were formally trained in some skill by the time we were 6, for the most part. All right, whether it be yard work working on something. We were pretty much formally trained in something.
We
all
used
right?
our hands
We
for
came
something
home-
other than this.
We came
Right.
home to an empty house a lot with keys that were
all the
hidden,
time.
and we locked the fucking door, and we survived. We did our shit. And there was a lot of that. And I think you have a lot of parents in that in that generation that when they grew up and had kids didn't want their kids that way. And
They wanted to
again,
change the game wholesale.
Right. And I get and it wanted to be it was softer. And you were dealing with, you had George Bush in a kinder, gentler nation, and it was there. But I think we've taken it a little too far. It was then when you started getting helicopter parents and
I don't know how
everything at school has started to become a meeting and a team, and I don't know, man.
I can kind of agree with that meeting aspect of it, because it teaches the kids to work as a team and to
there was
work,
a lot of stuff when
talk things
Trav was
through.
little.
Yeah.
All right, and they were very soft, and I was like, I couldn't get behind what the school was talking about. They wanted things to be soft, and I'm like, you guys are just fucking coddling this kid.
Right.
Like,
And
I don't know. Literally, I'm sitting. That TikTok video where I'm in the fucking business of raising motherfuckers.
yeah.
And literally, I'm literally in a PPT. Like, I don't know what the fuck's up with you people, but I'm trying to raise winners in this motherfucker, and they're all looking at me like I'm psychotic, like I'm some crazy, like I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Why are you so hard?
Well,
And
that goes back to what
that's exactly what the kid needed was some fucking hard.
And life's
Right.
going to kick your ass harder than I ever will.
It will.
goes back to my point.
It will. And he'll say that. He'll say, you know what? I really just staying with mom. I didn't get that was he missed on some shit. And I wasn't there for everything. Go ahead, Lynch. Go.
That goes back to my point about responsibility and just honestly just taking responsibility for your actions and having an expectation. Kids today don't have expectation. Their expectation is to exist, go to school, not really learn anything, because I don't know how the fuck they're teaching elementary school. I don't, and as a parent, I couldn't do it right now as a parent because I don't know that kind of math when I don't have circular thinking. They come home and they sit on their phone.
Yeah, I do math linear, so.
Or they sit on their
The old-fashioned
Xbox.
way, linear.
Yeah. They sit on their Xbox, they sit on their PlayStation, and that's all they do. The boob tube became the babysitter. And it took that responsibility away from the parent of entertaining their kid or making sure their kid is doing their homework or making sure the kid's not burning down a neighborhood. What you name it, the parents they don't have the right oversight. Like helicopter parents, I don't know how I could not exist in a relationship if my father was still alive and my mother and I had a child, and that my mother and father were here. Every little event, every little thing, we would go. As I see it, I see families that go grocery shopping together every weekend, the whole family, and the kids are grown up, married with 2 kids.
I feel like helicopter parents came out of our generation because they were the fucking kids. They were the kids that were fucking nervous fucking wrecks and couldn't. And now they can't cope with society. Right. But think of like kids that were just nervous fucking wrecks. Those are and couldn't handle the being alone and surviving on your own. All right. Technically, I mean, look.
It's the Klingon baby
there's
syndrome.
80 million. There's 80 million fucking baby boomers. There's 60 million. What is it? Gen Xers, and there's 90, and there's like 75 or 80 million. Whatever came after us. What is it? Gen Z.
Gen Z.
All right. So all the other generations have all these big numbers, right? We're Gen X, dude. There's like we are the smallest generation in history, in modern history.
The rest, absolutely.
You know why? Because we were tough and we went through some hard shit and we killed off the weak fuckers.
Or they just died off.
The weak ones died off.
The survival of the
left?
fittest.
It's just like that shit. Everybody, every Gen Xer I know has either been in the military, been to prison, and you know what? We're all still here.
We made it through life, and I think that gives. I remember as a kid, 9-10 years old, I didn't need constant companionship. I could take my bike and go down to my friend's house right down the road, and we would do whatever the fuck we did at 8, 9, 10 years old.
Right.
But I got used to being alone and not relying on somebody 24/7. I learned how to do shit on my own.
All right. Can you put this comment up after Lynch is done,
Yes,
please?
Let's
When Lynch is
talk
done.
about the Sammy peeing in public. We want. Yeah, there's our girl.
Hi.
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 Hey, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. About six-ish years ago, my
Hey,
son
baby.
got in trouble at school for being high. High. Not selling, but he himself high. The next day, 2 cop cars and a school official were at my door. So I get that kids can suck and get away with shit, but it's scary to parent these days. You can be hauled away for your kids' fuck-ups. Hell, I pissed next to a cop car with the cop in it when I was 16. He told my friends to get my drunk ass home. Today, oh my. Okay,
Very good point.
It is a good point, but this goes back to
We know all
somewhere in the
kinds of
late
shit you did
90s.
at 16, Sammy.
We know where the bodies are buried.
You know where
Yeah.
that shit's buried.
And we know where grandma's teeth are. We know what you did with grandma's teeth. By the way, I saw that Carol was watching earlier. Carol Morey.
They're
Quick
somewhere
question.
moist and uncomfortable.
Quick question. Does
Did you
sour
just say
cream?
moist?
Do you dip mozzarella sticks into sour cream, or is that just heresy and blasphemy?
Ugh.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Thank you. I
We
rest
need
my
to know
case.
right
And
now.
I like sour cream.
The prostitution rest, Your Honor.
Wait.
Anyway, it goes
mozzarella-
back.
Wait. Mozzarella sticks, sour cream.
Yeah.
That's a
That's-
combo that does not go together.
that's-
It's not like peanut butter and chocolate. Come
No.
on.
Ew. It's hard. Ugh. Mozzarella. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, where the late '90s,
Girl, we
early
know.
2000s, the whole kinder, gentler bullshit.
Yeah.
The kids hold all the cards, and especially now, the guy in Canada that was in the Walsh documentary, who refused to sign off on his 13-year-old's gender transition, medical, and then the surgery, and he ended up in jail.
So
Yo,
you're
not for
guilty
nothing. Go ahead.
in the court of public opinion. You are guilty, and you have to prove your innocence in that case. I don't get it. Where is the disconnect between? If you think I'm abusing my son, why don't you talk to me?
Mhm.
Instead of making the accusation, I accuse you, and we're gonna have to prove you innocent, or you're gonna have to prove your case to me.
I was an accident-prone child. I know Mike's son, Travis,
I was.
couldn't. I don't think he has a bone on his
That
body
nigga
left to
tried to
break for the
kill
first time.
himself.
Yeah.
That nigga
So-
actively tries to kill himself.
Well, I heard a story at the roaster about something he was doing. He hurt himself, and he did it twice more just
Yeah.
to see if he could do it
Oh
better.
yeah, and then there was a time he was skating downhill on a longboard. The longboard I bought him, spent like $200 on this awesome longboard. He was fucking traveling like 60 miles an hour. A car came up the hill around the corner, all fucked up, and he had to bail. Like we're literally sitting in the hospital room, and he's up there like this.
Yeah, dicking around with the hole in his head.
He's like, I could feel my brain. I'm like, fuck.
Get your finger out of your skull.
He's like, literally, he's like, oh, every time I press on
That
my
kid is
skull
weird,
right
man.
here, every time I press on my skull right here, I can hear my brain going.
Oh, see that
I was
makes
like,
me so happy to be a girl dad because I
and
will
I'm
never
stand-
hear
yeah,
Emma say
yeah,
some
and
shit
I'm
like that.
standing here, and I'm standing there in the room, and I turn around, and I look around, and behind me, over my shoulder, is the fucking board. His board is tore up, covered in blood. But he brought it to the hospital. He's like, I'm not getting rid of it. I gotta take it to the hospital.
It's my
We can
war
fix
room.
him,
Yes, and I
build
don't know
him
how
You can make
stronger,
it better.
faster. Yeah.
how many arm and broken bones he's had. Just fuck.
And I was the same way.
But if he goes to school, right? If he goes to school with a big old knot on his head, what happened? Oh, I fell off my skateboard. Yeah, I'll
I'm not
bet
gonna
you
believe
did.
him.
Just
They're not
like
gonna
just
believe
like the girl last week walked into the doorknob and fell down the stairs and all exactly. But that's the society we fostered now is we don't look at the kid and go, well, you're a kid, shit happens. You fell out of a tree, broke your arm, shit. No. They immediately point at a parent and go, what did you do to this child? That's
Yeah.
not how it works. It's not how any of this works.
Yeah, don't put me
No.
on the cross. Don't put me on the cross before you put the nails in my hand. Okay, don't fit me for my cross before I'm ready.
No, well,
Don't
that's like
fucking-
the
don't-
parents that think it's the governor here in Colorado passed Jared Polis just signed a law, and we passed a law about the being able to parent your kids and let your kids like go to the park. Like it's like there are neighborhoods where like what kids nowadays don't all take off the way that we all did, all right?
Yeah,
But there are still parents and grandparents that if that allow themselves to watch the children and know the children and know what level of acceptable taking off can be. My Matthew and Michael were really good about that shit, and my parents let them ride all over the fucking city because they were responsible about they would.
look, I made it all the way to where Chris is.
Hey,
But you know what I mean. So like
spray when you're done.
those kids
All
can
right.
go where they wanted to because they came back when they were supposed to. They went where they were supposed to. They did what they did.
Or even if they didn't, Mike. I mean, how many times as kids, hey, I'm going to Mike Herman's house. Fine, be back by 8 o'clock.
Dude,
Were we at Herm's house? No, we're probably off fucking around in the woods or riding bikes or doing
we
stupid
didn't
shit.
we didn't do that. I mean, we just were like, I'm going out, and we went out to play in a neighborhood, and we're going to find the kids, and you'd find them in the neighborhood. And in the summer, you'd leave shortly after breakfast and maybe catch lunch at somebody's house. But if not, you came home, and maybe there was a Pop-Tart involved during the day, and you'd come home and eat dinner, and that was it. You were home by, you knew when dinner was. It was about the same time every day,
Mhm.
and you were home for dinner. And if you missed dinner, you were home when the light come on.
That's right. And you could hear that light pop.
It was right. It would start to hum,
Shit, I gotta go. Wait.
and it would just turn this. It would turn this, and it would turn that little orange, pinky glow.
Mhm.
Like, and you would hear, and that was
If
it.
you get
You were
bright
like,
white, you
"Fuck,
are fucked.
fuck, I gotta go home. And
You
knew
have
when-
90 seconds.
And you knew when the lights in the neighborhood came on and where you were came on in relation to the one that was closer to the house that your parents were gauging it by.
Yep.
For me, it was the light right up at the top of the hill. So that was it. That was right outside the yard. So I knew what time the one on the yard came in. And then everything else was either 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes fast, plus or minus. And you could get home in time from anywhere because you knew how the frame worked.
You sometimes had to jump through that door, Dukes of Hazzard style, like they're jumping over a hay bale.
Come through that shit like Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
Yep,
Do
you
a
look,
tuck and a roll and come
I
in.
made
And
it.
fucking, I'm in.
I made it.
Rocco Pico train.
There you go. Leon says mine was my parents' light in front of the driveway. Everybody knew. Oh, same here.
Yeah, we had a sodium vapor light, a light pole right in front of my house. And
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that thing flickering, time to go home.
Yep.
Um,
You'd start because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would
yeah,
start
yeah,
to be
yeah,
that glow.
yeah.
Look,
I did it.
it's my
Did I?
Ferrer impression.
Stutter?
I'm channeling my inner Ferrer.
This is. I thought I was watching The Waterboy for a minute there. Mama said. My mama said. My mama said.
But yeah, like everybody knew. You knew when the light turned pink and orangey. You knew, and then you knew when it started to flicker, and you
Mhm.
knew when your ass was late. Fuck, that light's
Exactly.
solid. Fuck. Even when it was that low glow and you knew it was solid, you knew we were
Well,
dead already.
Speaking of idiots, I do want to give a. I want to say a congratulations to the fine folks of Pennsylvania who had a choice
Oh,
for a United States senator between a talk show host who actually lives in New Jersey and a stroke victim who should never have carried on his campaign past stroke until he was well, and the stroke victim won.
Well,
'cause
I gotta
The Eagles are better than the Eagles.
The Eagles
Well,
are better than the Eagles.
look, guys. I understand, but I said this before. We had Reagan, so everybody calm the fuck down. All right.
But he
all
could
right.
form a sentence
But
until the end.
The beginning of his term.
Yes, as long
In the
as
beginning, he was fine.
he was
he
fine in the beginning.
Progressively got worse.
All right,
This
all
guy's
right.
starting off fucking Reagan in
Well,
1990.
look, man. Look, I know I'm for some reason I'm the big softy of the group, and I know the guy. Look,
Says the guy who just a little while ago says, "I'm a hardcore. I'm hard. I want
I
to raise
am, but
winners."
I do want to
And they're
raise
losers in
winners.
this fucking
I
joint.
do want to raise winners.
You just don't
all
want to
right?
elect them.
No, I look. The
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
baby.
Look, my personal opinion on the Pennsylvania race is it was kind of complete shit. Mr. Oz, I refuse to call him doctor because he is
'Cause he's
not,
not
an
a real
actual
doctor.
Mr. Oz, Mehmet, if
Mehmet.
you want to. Mehmet,
Mehmet
I'm Mehmet.
Oz.
It was pretty fun, man. Remember we did all this? Yeah.
How long you gonna be? How long?
Berries.
When you gonna be home? In a minute.
In a Mehmet.
And a Mehmet.
Dr.
Or two.
Mr. Oz was not an exceptional candidate. He ran on basically the same platform that Trump used to run. Is look at me, everybody knows me. Everybody knows my name. He said the right things for the right people, but I don't necessarily know that if Oz was the best candidate for the Pennsylvania people.
Have you guys listened?
I don't
to
even know if
Herschel
he was a
Walker?
good candidate for the race, period. It was just what they had. You know what I mean? It was 5 o'clock. It was like 5 minutes of 5, and the Republican
gotta find
Party
somebody.
it was
You gotta
literally like
find
it was
somebody.
5 minutes. It was 4:55 on a Friday, and the Republican Party was like, we really need a fucking candidate.
They had the remote control.
Let's go
Like
with this
they had-
Oz asshole.
They had the remote control in their hand. They just stopped on Dr. Oz.
Yep.
Leon.
That guy. Look at him.
Sorry, who? What? Who?
Who? Who?
Uh,
What?
Who?
Where?
Who? Federer or who? Dr. Oz.
Fetterman. Dude. There's a guy who just a few years ago.
I mean,
during
he
the
looks. I mean, I'm not going to give it to. Look, it's Pennsylvania. We already know that they are not fucking. All right.
Not exactly like
We're
the
in New
political-
England, and it's Pennsylvania. All right. We're from New England, guys. It's Pennsylvania. We know what those people are down there. They're like the beginning of the end. It's Pennsylvania.
Northern West Virginia.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's like
Extreme.
northern
Extreme
South
northern.
Carolina. It's just
Yeah.
it-
Northern Alabama.
Wow.
yeah, northern Alabama. It's just
West
you know,
Tennessee.
yeah.
Look,
it's,
he comes out. He's the lieutenant governor, and he wants to stop fracking. If you don't know what fracking is, just Google it. I don't have time or the
I'm
crayons
down
to
with
explain
that.
it to you.
Fracking
Right.
is complete shit.
Now, during the campaign, post-stroke, they say, "All right, Mr. Fetterman, you once said you were opposed to fracking, and now you're out here saying you're for it. What is your official position, and why did you say that years ago?"
69.
I support fracking, and I stand here, and I support fracking. That
But
is an
they voted
exact
for
fucking
him.
quote.
I understand, but they're good for it. The
That's
problem we're
fine.
having here is I get it, and I mean it's Pennsylvania, and they basically they voted the guy that looks like he the airline lost his luggage, and
You know who
that's
he
how
looks
he
like?
dresses.
He looks like he could use some French fried potatoes. Mhm. John, what's wrong with your car? It ain't got no gas in it.
in it.
Yeah, he's chunk.
I like the way you talk.
I like the way you
Chunk.
talk.
Mhm.
Not funny,
Lost.
funny queer.
Lost, chunk.
Chunk.
I wish I could have seen his victory speech. Hey, you guys!
I'm not saying. Look, I said that too. I said his ideas do kind of come across if you read between it, but unfortunately, after the stroke, he doesn't come across exceptional in an argument. If you
I
could
don't-
edit him,
was
he looks
wait,
great.
I'm gonna
But
go to
I'm
the
not.
Google
Look,
machine.
they voted for him, so
That's what they
you know
want.
what? And I
The people
I
have
wish-
spoken.
that's what I'm saying. Something about him has rung with the people. So everybody's like, I hope they get what they want. I hope they get what they want too. They voted for him, so I hope they get exactly what they want. You know,
And
Look,
I
we
don't
already
I don't want to
have
hear any complaints. No.
we already
complaints
have
from
a
you
stuttering
assholes.
jackass in the White House. We don't need a stuttering vegetable in the Senate.
well, you
Have
could
you
have
guys-
what's her name? Carrie Lake.
Yeah.
You're gonna be Arizona and have to deal with that whore.
Oh my God.
Dude,
I'm-
I'm trying to be the governor. Hold on while I talk shit on my entire state for a fucking
Right.
week and a half.
All right. So
I'll be right
I-
there. I'm
I-
gonna turn the volume up.
go ahead. I put the blame on one person and one person alone, not even the folks that voted for him. That's fine. He had some good ideas. He had a stroke. They should have let him heal. a woman named Giselle Fetterman, who married this man in 2007,
Okay.
should have stopped this. I do not. My husband needs to heal before he even thinks about. He should have backed out of that race. There were how many other Democratic candidates in this race that could have stepped up and taken the spot, and then John just runs later on when he's feeling well again. This was terrible.
Who was the incumbent in that race?
I'm looking now. I don't think the incumbent ran, to be honest.
That's what I was curious of. I looked weeks ago, but I don't recall it.
Let me go back to this.
I was probably all high and shit.
Oh, well, you haven't talked about butt stuff yet.
No, I'm holding out, man.
All right. He succeeded Pat Toomey, who didn't even run.
Okay, yeah. Toomey.
Go lay down, ladies.
Yeah, Herm's got to get his hose in order. Go lay down, ladies. Make your money.
The dogs,
Belly rubs later.
Belly rubs.
dogs. Belly rubs later if you do what I told you.
And look, I don't want to, there are a lot of folks from Pennsylvania that live in, modern city areas, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Lancaster, Bethlehem. Not all of you are,
Yeah,
Wilkes-Barre
not everybody's
motherfuckers.
Amish.
yeah, not everybody's Amish or banjo playing butt rapers,
Right.
but somebody had to look at this at some point and go, this isn't right. And I'm not saying they should have voted for Mehmet Oz, because I don't think he was a good candidate either. You had 4 other people on the ballot from 4 other parties. There are other options in the two-party system.
There
no
were, but I feel that everybody is so fucking homogenized into this
I call it indoctrination.
side to side
Yeah.
thing.
Brainwashed.
I just moved to Colorado. I am a new citizen here. And I haven't, the only thing I've heard on the governor, Jared Polis, is unfortunately I moved here and dealt with it from August to now. So I've seen nothing about anybody but political shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen anybody speak really. I told you about it, the guys, the other night in the feed. There's a really nice interview he does with Bill Maher. He's extremely moderate. Like, he's a Democratic candidate that if you guys heard him speak in this, watch it, because if you guys watch it, you'll be like, I could totally vote for a fucking Democrat.
Well, Biden ran.
And he's moderate enough.
Biden ran as a moderate, and now he's gone so far left, he doesn't know where he is.
No, I understand that, but I don't, and that's he did run that way, but I also see, I know that I've done I'm not going to say the phrase, I've done the research. I have.
I've read up on it.
I have read up on it and searched the internet and checked into shit that he claimed he wanted to pass and wanted to do and what he did get done. And I could totally, as a libertarian and somebody who's very much in the middle, I could totally pick him as a candidate for leadership based on what I've seen.
Right, and I personally, I didn't,
no disregard to. I even said that to her. I'm like, Jenny's a Democrat.
I didn't vote on party line. Voted for some Republicans, voted for some Democrats. I voted for Joe Courtney. I've always loved Joe Courtney here in Connecticut.
Very good guy.
I'm very big on merit.
Yeah. And one thing I think I put it on Facebook. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm watching a lot of the election results come in. I was switching between New Haven Channel 8, Hartford Channel 3, and I was watching the Daily Wire as they do their coverage.
Yep.
And explain to me, with less than 5% reporting, how Senator Blumenthal was called the winner that early in the race. They were only separated by about 700 or 800 votes at that time.
Did his opponent concede?
They didn't say anything. They were still.
That's it. That's about the only reason I would say that they
with maybe, and they didn't say here or there.
Leading on that, what was the voter turnout in Connecticut? Did they give a rough number? What the percentage?
Let me dive into the Google machine. From what I had heard, we had record turnout here, which is good.
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
I know I know
Yeah,
locally.
it was kind of a big deal for a midterm, guys.
Well,
Normally
it's very
nobody
big
gives-
deal for the Democrats. Very big
Usually-
deal for the Democrats.
Big deal because normally in a midterm you usually lose everything that whoever the party leader is, whoever's the sitting president, you usually lose a shitload of seats on their party and lose control. When Obama came in, the midterm elections, all the Democrats came out. When
Yep.
Trump came in the midterms elections, the Democrats took over the House, and the seats you lost 42 seats, 60 some seats with Obama. With this election, there was so much voter turnout in this election that showed up, especially for the left, that they still retained. They lost seats that were negligible. It was a wash, and they
Mhm.
still hold the Senate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the House,
So
the-
and the House always votes on shit first.
right? The House actually, Republicans picked up 8 seats to give them like a 2-seat majority, which is negligible.
Right. And here's the problem with that. And I know not everybody likes politics, but I do like politics. So you're gonna
Me
fucking
too.
hear it. So no, not you. I'm talking about them out there.
I know.
When you have a split like that and you just regain you regain the House, all right. So the Republicans have the House now by majority, all right.
Technically,
But-
majority.
Technically majority, but here's the problem: is that without that more drift over, with that number being so close to right on the 50 line, you aren't able to get through the bipartisan bullshit and have your party just push shit through, because there's usually a few on your side that don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
So basically, with those numbers that way, while they did gain control of the House, they won't be able to push anything because the numbers just aren't there.
Right.
They don't have
the
the extra
answer-
16 people. I'm listening. Go ahead.
The answer to the question, 1.366 million people of registered voters voted in Connecticut, which is the second highest turnout for a midterm since 2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like the,
yeah,
that's,
20-year
that's like-
stretch.
That's since like the first Bush term,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were
which
like,
is great.
What? And everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
Yeah. What do we got into?
You know, and we can cap all this political stuff off with 14, 15, 20 minutes to go and maybe have some smiles go around
We
the
got
room.
a half hour, right at 1 hour and 3 minutes right now.
Oh, I just looked at that. Look, you get what they always tell you get what you pay for. Buyer beware. And, you know, there's a great shirt I saw somebody wear the other day that is, if you voted for Biden, you owe me gas money. And I think it's funny, but, you know, the tail end of the Trump administration, the COVID thing, you know, I can't say Biden was handed a fantastic deck of cards,
No, he wasn't.
but it seemed like he got the deck of cards and he immediately threw away all the aces. So there's no
Yeah.
fucking way this guy can win.
Well, and here I had this discussion out to dinner the other night with a friend of mine. He asked where he works. There's a guy who asked the question of the week or a question of the day. I believe the question was, do you think the Ukrainian situation would have happened as fast as it did with Trump in office? And I
No,
said,
he held it off.
I said it would have happened eventually because well, you know, Putin is absolutely fucking insane.
Mhm.
Well, I was going to say he's definitely an emotionally disturbed person.
He
And
has
at
as much as he wants to say he's buddy with Donald Trump, he is not to be trusted.
Nope.
It just happened quicker with Biden
no,
because
no,
he saw that the country was like depressed once they found out Biden was the president, and he knew what his hand was all aces. He had every ace in his deck. Well, we threw them to him when we elected Biden.
Mhm.
So he takes these aces, keeps it up his sleeves, and said, "Booyah, motherfucker! I'm going to invade Ukraine, and I don't give a fuck what the world thinks."
Well, and
Now
that's I'm sorry, go
And now
please.
you have North Korea firing missiles in the air just because they're testing. So anybody who's an oligarch or a fucking mental case is how big can I puff my chest feathers with Biden in
Yeah,
office?
I'm not worried about that.
Korea
North
scares me
Korea.
more.
I'm not worried about the Korea thing because my nephew Matthew was over there, and in the army, and they do that all the time. They fire a few off. It's he's wiggling his dick is all he does. He wiggles his dick.
He
And
still scares
Matt
the shit out of me.
Matt and a bunch of his buddies would roll in with a fucking bunch with a fucking rocket battalion and set off like 23 fucking units would like blow off, and then you don't hear shit for a long time. Because he does it every now and then because he can get away with it. He can't really get away with anything big. He just fires a couple off to whip his dick out and show his dick pic, and then the military comes in and
selfie.
And then the U.S. comes in and is like, hold on, we're just gonna throw a couple of crumbs at you, and it's just a barrage of 47 missiles.
Hold my beer. I got this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but again, I think we still would be paying higher gas prices at the pump. It would have taken a little bit longer.
Look, I'm not saying that
the biggest problem.
I'm not saying that policy doesn't affect how that works, but on certain things, moreover with taxes and whatnot. But
and the phrase
the government doesn't really control Wall Street per se.
And that's a phrase I hear it constantly. I hate
they monitor it, but they don't. The government doesn't set oil prices.
And I hate this phrase because it's so untrue. The president is setting gas prices too high.
He can't.
The president, his actions may have an impact on gas prices
may have a minor effect on certain things.
Yeah.
However,
there were certain times when Trump flapped his gums during his administration that oil prices went up a little bit because he made a comment that he probably shouldn't have. And then they level out. We're under $4 a gallon, which was predicted as soon as gas prices went up. They said by the mid to end of 2022, it will level out to a few cents more than it was before Biden took office. I think before Biden took office, the gas was what, $3.09.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing is everybody kind of freaks out, but there's really no reason to freak out because we've all been on the planet long enough to know that it kind of runs in an ebb and a flow.
Right.
It kind of goes up and down, and basically for us, the three of us now we're at 50. All right, all three of us can see retirement. I'm not saying it's imminent. We can see retirement. That's the end of the tunnel. You see?
I can see the finish line.
All right. So all I'm trying to do is time my shit time my retirement and my money to how the economy is working, so that when it all works out, I have the most possible.
I tell you,
I'm not worried right now because I'm 50, so I've got another 15 years for shit to ebb and flow. Right. So if I was retiring next year, I might be, but I'm not. I'm also not that bad because we were the generation told that there was going to be no Social Security when we got there. That the baby boomers were going to take it all, and there was going to be nothing there. So they said, you need to make sure you plan to not have Social Security. Yeah. So I went out and made sure that we planned for not having Social Security. So there's a whole bunch of money for that. And then when all of a sudden we also had the baby boomers and our generation younger fighting for Social Security and Congress, and we elected the right people, and Social Security was doing pretty well, to the point where Social Security just got the largest cost of living allowance increase, and it pisses me off that my dad isn't going to fucking be able to collect that shit. But they just got like an 8.1%.
Wow.
Fucking cost of living allowance, to the point where the average Social Security person on Social Security will get about $150 increase every month that's it. Wow, so and my dad was on the higher end because he made his money in Connecticut
and in New England where wages are a little better. So he was doing a little better than most out here.
Right.
Same thing. Jen and I made most of our money back east. So our numbers are to retire will keep us higher than the average here. But
Right.
yeah, for the average person collecting Social Security, it was $150 a month. That's a big increase. That's like that's a lot of money.
That's a part-time job.
Yeah, that's $150. Boom. So
That's good. I mean, you like to hear stories like that, and you like to, know that hopefully our government's going to do the right thing for us who have paid in for. In our cases now, we've probably all been gainfully employed since we were 16. We've been doing this 34 years now with another 10, 15, depending on how long you want to work.
right.
Hope it's there for you. And that's a good story. Now, this is a bad story, but it will make you laugh. Do not, I repeat, do not go to Canada. Chris, take your pill. Do not go to Canada on March 13th, 2023.
Ooh, what's going on?
And what is that?
Reported today at 2:26 p.m. Eastern Time by Spencer Kaufman, Nickelback will be elected into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame on March 13th, 2023.
Oh, come on. Don't
Dude.
hate on the back.
Well,
They
it's-
suck. Now
Okay.
look, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just happened recently, and I
yeah, I
still
mean
don't
they're
understand.
not good music. I mean it's you can throw it on at a party and it doesn't really offend anybody, and it's a
Offends
little
me.
rocky. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. You can mix it in. For me, speaking as a DJ, I can throw that in as a little harder, newer shit,
Right.
and
Look,
it's
I look at
it's
the
a-
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and some of the people they put in. I don't know what Dolly Parton necessarily has to do with rock and roll, but she is certainly a pioneer. She deserves to be in some sort of Hall of Fame. She's in the Grand Ole Opry, which is
well,
technically
she
the
got
Country
that.
Music
She
Hall of Fame.
got that Bezos money.
Yeah, and there's so many people that have gone into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and people that are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just think it's a popularity contest. I know it's Jan Wenner, the owner of the worst magazine ever in the history of ever, Rolling Stone.
Right.
If you subscribe to Rolling Stone, set yourself on fire right now.
I
You're
mean,
not
I
the friend.
personally really like the fact that they're including. I like the hip hop artists
Yeah,
that they've included. I like
because
that.
with the hip hop and when NWA went in,
well, right.
yeah.
I mean, I'm the one that's the biggest into that, but for the longest time, that genre of music was not given any credibility. Or
when
legitimacy.
NWA went in, and they said it, they were pioneers. They broke a lot of ground. Plus, if you listen to some of those samples, a lot of that's rock and roll sample, and
Uh-huh.
it introduced the
that or
hip-hop
artists that
genre.
were in on right, or it was shit from artists that are in the Hall of Fame on the R&B side.
yeah.
There was all kinds of R&B.
Mhm.
Dre used all kinds of R&B hooks. Oh, so
But
much of that shit.
Again, God bless Canada. You want to put them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Feel free. I'll be avoiding your country on March 13th. I could really give a shit less. But, are they Hall of Famers? I mean, you
They
can
fill
look at,
arenas.
Well, I guess that's where we're
I-
going. Is if I guess there's a lot of. I don't know what the exact specific criteria are.
you have to suck Jan Wenner's dick to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I'm sure
basically.
I'm sure it has something to do with
And he would like that because he's gay now.
with sales, or I mean, it's not like when we were kids and you went by number of albums and singles sold,
And longevity. And, again,
and like
What
you know what I
stuff.
mean. You like literally that shit was all clocked by a physical tape
accounting, yeah.
or a record or a cassette
Ticket sales.
or a CD. Now with I don't even know how the fuck they get paid now. I don't even. You used to
They
get sold by
barely do.
look. If you sell 1 million copies, you get a bonus. You sell 2 million,
Yeah.
you get another bonus. Now you don't. How do you even know with the ease at which I can look? I'm a DJ for $20 a month. I can download your shit and give it to 3,000 people.
Mhm.
Right.
Look,
And
let me get this point out real quick because it pisses me off when people look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, I'm not saying you guys, like, oh, well, they sold a bazillion albums. You know
doesn't
what?
mean they're good.
Exactly. Taylor Swift sells a bazillion albums. I think it was Henry Rollins that said this one time. Taylor Swift last year, I saw him, I don't know how many years ago. He said Taylor Swift last year sold 20 million albums. But Charlie Parker, Robert Johnson, and BB King combined didn't sell 1 million, even though, and the music is 10 times better.
Right.
And people look at Taylor Swift like some sort of groundbreaking icon. No, BB King was an icon. Elvis was an icon. The Beatles, as much as I think they're the most overrated band in history, were icons. A lot of the bands I like that are doing.
I like the Beatles.
I didn't say I didn't like them. I didn't say I didn't like them. I just think they're overrated.
No, I think they were too. I really like them like later.
Yeah,
When they
the White
became-
Album, I
when
think
they
is my favorite.
Well, for me, the album that really does it is Get Back.
Oh, see, I was going to say Rubber Soul.
If you watch them get back, they're like
Mhm.
grown men now, and they've got
Fuck
real
yeah.
lives, and there's kids and wives and shit
Yoko.
involves. Yeah, and and he had Linda and his daughter,
Mhm.
and there's like they're grown men doing this shit now, and it's a completely different side. And
Mhm.
where the music came from for that album was the little disgust for the world, and
But
it was good shit.
the best thing that somebody ever said, and I don't really take a lot of what this guy says as gospel, but he hit it on the head, was Nikki Sixx. He says, you can sell all the records in the world. When somebody asks me, who were your influences, I'm going to point them out because they were that fucking good.
Right.
The Sex Pistols may not have sold a bazillion records, but they were that fucking good.
Yeah, they had a big impact on the music.
Right.
Right. And
And
I'm never going to put Kiss musically in the same category with, I don't know, a Pink Floyd or an Iron Maiden as far as musicality, but Kiss sold a butt ton of records and they still sell a butt ton of tickets. However,
Right.
when Iron Maiden goes out on the road for a 24-date gig, I see Kiss at the Shed in Hartford, 18,000, 20,000 strong. Iron Maiden's playing the football stadium in New Jersey, packing the shit out of it, 50,000 deep.
Right.
Right.
That's influence. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the number of records you sell has
Right.
no bearing on
How
no
many
bearing.
people since December 26th of 2015 have come forward and said Lemmy was a huge influence on me and my career? Starting with Dave Grohl and working your way down.
A lot.
Right.
I mean,
Motorhead did not sell a lot of
I
records.
I was just gonna say, what's the tiny amount of records that Motorhead sold?
I think they had a couple platinum
comparatively-
records. That's it. Yeah.
Comparatively, I mean, you're talking about maybe they sold a couple of records that sold 100,000 copies.
Yep. But he influenced a generation.
Well, no, what is it? Gold record is 100, platinum
Gold record is 500, platinum is over 1 million.
is 1 million records.
Diamond
right?
is 10 million.
Right.
wow.
There aren't too many diamond selling artists.
Metallica, Michael Jackson, Van Halen. There's a couple
Yeah,
others.
That's
Garth
what I'm
Brooks,
saying.
I think.
There's a handful, but yeah, like we're talking old numbers that not everybody nowadays actually knows.
Right, but they got
when a-
4
when a-
million streams. Yay!
Right, when a gold record was yeah, like what was 100,000? What was 100,000?
Aluminum.
It was. I thought 100,000.
Now
was a
they've
gold
changed the
record.
rules so much now because
Hot
physical
metal.
records. Yeah, it's all downloads now.
Yeah.
Everything's digital. Like if you go to buy a CD, it's probably because you don't have Bluetooth in your car, like me, and you can't play it over the speaker. So you go buy a CD, or like Lynch is a vinyl collector. He'll go buy the vinyl at Walmart for $38, $40 with the special edition green vinyl gimmick schnabbits bullshit, and it's worthy. But you actually had to physically sell that amount of records, physical copies of records, to get those awards. Now
Right,
they
it
do it
wasn't-
by stream.
No,
Well, now the entire pay structure for a musician is completely changed because we don't sell as many physical pieces of vinyl or
right,
CDs.
right. The
And they're
media,
pay-
how the media is distributed and disseminated
Right.
has changed.
and they always, as rock and roll or any musical genre, they make their money on the tour. Your T-shirts you buy inside the venue, the ticket price. I've paid upwards of $300 to see some of my favorite bands play. To me, it's worth it. Other people will be like, "You're fucking crazy." I get to experience it once in my lifetime. I'm happy. It's off my bucket list. So, folks, how fucked up is this country?
15, 16. All right, I've got the list here.
Oh, here we go.
There
What do we
are 18
Mm-hmm.
diamond selling artists.
King Diamond is not one of them.
God, I wish he was. Metallica,
Yep.
Garth
Okay.
Brooks,
Yep.
Adele,
Uh-huh.
Led Zeppelin,
Yep.
Whitney Houston,
Okay.
Billy Joel,
Yep.
Bruce Springsteen,
Uh-huh.
Aerosmith,
All right.
the Backstreet Boys,
Fuck off.
Backstreet's back. All right.
Britney Spears,
Fuck a dick.
mhm,
All right. I like her titties.
Elvis Presley,
Ooh, yeah.
My man.
the Bee Gees,
My
Pink
man.
Floyd,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Madonna,
Them tits.
the Beatles,
Okay.
the Eagles,
Yep.
Def Leppard,
Okay. Well, all right.
Fleetwood Mac,
It's a one-armed soldier.
Neil Diamond, and Michael Jackson.
Neil Diamond. God damn it.
I
love
figured
The
Neil Diamond had
man.
to be on that list somewhere.
Oh
I love
man,
Neil Diamond.
not just
I'll
a
say
funny
it.
name. He's a diamond selling recording artist.
Yeah, baby.
But on that list, you can see the influence of every single artist on that list, with the possible exception of the Backstreet Boys, who just influenced you to turn the fucking channel. You can see the influence of every artist on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they each influence each other.
Exactly.
And generations after them.
You know, because you go from Elvis to the Beatles. The Beatles then move on to Aerosmith, who Aerosmith begats this one.
Right.
and
Well, Aerosmith, and then you've got Zeppelin, and then
They
and that's
define
in the rock, and then from Elvis you can follow a trail down to Michael Jackson, that
Mhm.
direction,
and then to the
and-
Backstreet Boys.
and
Yeah.
put Neil Diamond in there somewhere, and that rhythm and blues side, jazz side, you know what I mean? Like you could disseminate that through a
You can hear it.
a
You can
family
hear it in the
tree.
music. Yeah. Has a lot of forks.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not a straight line.
Oh God.
So out of those articles I sent you,
Oh yeah, please.
all right. So I'm going to start off with the Elon Musk article. I had a giggle at this when I read it. So since Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, he's fired a whole shitload of corporate people based
Lunches
in
be
California.
costing him $400, bro.
All right, so here's the fucked up part about that story, and I agree with Elon Musk in this case. The people who were working from home, a very large portion of those people weren't going into the physical location in California, and they were allotting X amount of free breakfasts and lunches to the people, whether they're there or not. I think the article said the turnout rate for actual physical presence in the building was in the teens or 20s.
So they're paying $1,000 for breakfast for 100
Just
people,
wasting money.
and
Wasting money.
and 3 people are showing up. So technically, you sold 3 lunches for
And 3
$1,000.
breakfasts. Yeah, and it's just
Yeah, sorry, benefit canceled. I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
yeah.
For real, benefit canceled.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also in the article, I'm going to get down here to the meat and potatoes.
They don't serve meat and potatoes anymore.
Yeah, he said that according to the Badgen records, average occupancy in the office over the last 12 months was below 10%, peaking at 25. So I had my numbers a little askew.
Okay.
Let's see. Twitter spends $13 million a year on food service just at its San Francisco headquarters. $13 million.
And
feed these
only
fuckers.
at the San Francisco location.
Correct. But then he was challenged by Tracy Hawkins, who was a former Twitter employee. She was VP for real estate and work transformation at Twitter, with a focus on hybrid working. Hawkins said Musk's estimate, quote, "This is a lie. I ran the program up until a week ago when I resigned because I did not want to work for Elon Musk. For breakfast and lunch, we spent $20 to $25 a day per person. This enabled people to work through lunchtime and meetings. Attendance was anything from 20 to 25%. Musk kind of shot her down and said, I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm talking about headquarters.
Hmm.
Holy shit.
He said the disagreement could be because Hawkins referred to attendance across the multiple offices, and he was only talking about the HQ. The last part of this article is what made me really kind of giggle out loud. Musk told staff to expect an 80-hour work weeks and fewer perks like free office lunches. Twitter ended remote working soon after Musk took over. And last week, Musk sent an email at 2:39 a.m. in the morning telling to return to the office or resignation accepted, finger quotes.
Okay.
That's a big kick in the dick to
Kinda.
people at Twitter.
Yeah.
To the people at Twitter, but you know what? Fuck them. They've been resting on their asses and on their hands for the last 3 years. They're free. Nobody rides for free.
You got a job, come do your job.
Now he did fire a lot of people.
Yeah.
That has gone up people's asses sideways, and you have twats like this resigning because they don't want to work for Elon Musk. Give the guy a fucking chance.
Well, the way I look at it is simple. All these people, when we shut down the Keystone Pipeline, were just like, oh, well, why don't you just go get another job? Hey, Twitter employee, why don't you just go get another job? You can't have it both ways. You can't sit and tell the hardworking American man or woman, oh, they shut down your pipeline? Fuck you. Go work at a McDonald's. Guess what, Twitter? Go work at McDonald's. It's that fucking simple.
Yeah, very last sentence of the article. It followed 50% of Twitter's 7,500 staff being laid off after Musk took over. That's a lot of people. Oh,
It is,
I'm
but
sorry,
how many-
I can't sympathize with them. Well, I was struggling.
Yeah, but
to
I'm
find
sure
it.
he's going in there and he's just trimming a bunch of fat.
Mhm.
I'm sure of it.
There is absolutely no absurd fucking reason for a meal allowance like that to the tune of $14 million per year in one office.
In one office.
There
That-
is. There. Look.
Pissing
There
money away.
completely is. There completely is. If the platform is making the fucking money and
They're
the
not.
program is being utilized, but
Mhm.
if it's
They're-
not, sorry, benefit lost. You
Yep.
guys didn't use it. I'm not providing it anymore.
Nor do I
People are
have to.
And right,
People
I
are
don't
saying-
have to.
People are saying he's crazy for overbuying with the price tag he bought it at, but he knew he was walking into a debt, a big
Mhm.
debt, and he's going to trim fat where he sees fucking fit. He's the boss. You don't like it? Go work elsewhere. Good luck. Because while I spent 2 years looking for jobs, these people sat on their fat fucking asses during COVID, worked from home while I was struggling to find a job. So fuck you, Twitter. Fuck you up sideways.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna
you're my
lie.
asshole of the week.
I'm not gonna lie.
Twitter.
I got laid off with COVID, and then with what I do for a living in all aspects, the DJ events, restaurants, that all went away. It was all shut
Yeah,
down.
He
So
evaporated.
the whole industry and all of that evaporated. So I took the money I was given and on top of my unemployment, and COVID ended up being good for us. I got that the extra money in CT, the extra 600 or so on top of a really good unemployment check.
Right.
Jen went back to work early, and in the beginning, people were tipping crazy because they could just be back there again. So COVID was good for me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was horrible for the country, but COVID financially was really good for me.
So we go from Twitter, employees losing their mind.
Are you going to
Are
die?
you going to die? I was fucker. Yo, I got to be honest. I just smashed my toe on this little fucking tile thing. There's a little riser down here in the
It feels like
office.
you got hit with a hammer.
Oh my god! I think I'm pretty. I don't even. I think my pinky toe's gone. I'm too afraid
I'll look
to
later.
look down.
I'll look later.
I'll hold it. I'll have to hold it up to the camera. Hold on a second.
Oh, God, please no.
So from Twitter employees going absolutely fucking apeshit about Elon Musk taking over and all the nice free benefits being taken away, we go to Iowa. where
The
270
McRibs. No, Iowa. What's up in Iowa? Potato.
Iowa.
No, that's not. That's Idaho.
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 Idaho. 2 Iowa teenagers beat their Spanish teacher to death because one of them got a failing grade. Beat a 66-year-old woman to death over a fucking grade. How about this, genius? Show up to class, do your homework, do well on your tests, and take it seriously.
All right. Well. I think I don't think we can be mad yet. I think we can be mad. Like, what the fuck, mad?
Right.
However, I think unfortunately we can't be mad. Do we know what the response is to such behavior yet? I think that's where I think our true going to be able to get mad is.
Yeah. Well, they're both they were 16 at the time of the crime, and they're both being tried as adults.
Good.
They just turned 17, so they're going to find some adult repercussions in their little hissy fit for
good
because they're fucking lazy and don't want to do.
They obviously should have talked to the Menendez brothers about how this was going to work out.
Yo, Lyle, how'd you do that? Well, I did.
Well, you see, then I smashed his head. Then I shot his ass.
And then these two stories that happened just over the weekend that just kind of flew under the radar until I actually looked at my phone today.
The Virginia story, the
Virginia.
Did you see the one where the three kids shot, but the 3 fucking good high end players killed by some other fucker?
Yeah, and then 4 Idaho University students found dead, and they're thinking it's a homicide, and this is on campus. So either Idaho has somebody who's really pissed off, maybe those 2 kids did it. But anyway, Idaho has somebody really pissed off, or a serial killer,
something
in their midst. And the story in Virginia is just wow. Why do we not learn from our previous mistakes?
Yeah, like they already know who the fuck it is, and they're looking for that dude.
Why did he think this was the right solution to his problem? I mean, violence is never the answer. It's just going to get you fucked up, or either you're going to get fucked up violently, or you're going to be caught and thrown in fucking prison for the rest of your life and fucked up in prison. So I choose to not play stupid games and win stupid prizes, and live my life smart. Don't be dumb. Don't act out in violence.
Yeah, I play my stupid games pretty smart. I play smart.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't lash out in violence.
I choose to drink and play my stupid games at home.
Mm-hmm. Where you should.
I do
where
it
you're not going to hurt
hurt
someone.
No, first of all, where I know where to tell 911 to come.
It's the house with all the solar panels on it.
Second of all, if anything gets wrecked, it's just my shit. I'm not responsible for wrecking nobody else.
Relax, Herm.
I got insurance.
I just want to take your picture. Relax. I'll give you $50. Yeah.
$50. I'll give you $50.
Can I get some of that money up front? So
I left it in the sock drawer.
I like to go. You don't even want some money.
Yes, I do.
Well, that was the other thing. Is today I was.
Let me give you a tip.
There's just so much. There's just so much money here.
Herm's address, by the way, is.
Yeah, for real. No, what it is my father liked to rat hole cash, and as I'm going through cleaning out the house after both of my parents dying, my mother also liked to stash money as well. So I'm going through and in drawers and in the bottom, and you're cleaning shit out, and all of a sudden there's just money, and I found it all, most of it, because I've gone through their bedroom, but like doing it, it's like a slot machine.
If you find a map hidden somewhere in the house, I would strongly suggest you invest in a metal detector and a shovel.
Like this is the house where when you clean out the closets, you have to go through all the fucking pockets and everything. Every jacket has to be gone through, because any one of the jackets was and could have been used as a bank.
Ferret money. Yeah, the ferret money.
Yeah. Like yeah.
Well,
just
when When Megan was working as a slot attendant at Mohegan Sun, we moved from Norwich to Plainfield after we bought our house, and that was in 2004. When we removed the contents of our closets and then unpacked them in Plainfield, we found pairs of jeans with $100 bills stuffed in the pockets. We found $50 here, $200 there. It was all her tips from the slot being a slot attendant.
Yeah, in this case,
And she was already a manager at that. She was already a slot manager at that time. So that money had already been sitting around for 3 or 4 years. It paid for our move and then some.
yeah, but in this case, it's money clips with $1,000 in it.
I know. I wish I had that problem.
Stashed.
Yeah. I wish my socks.
It's literally like money clips with $1,000. 2 or 3 of them, sometimes rubber banded together in bundles. So like if you pick it up, it's 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3 of them, and it was cash. And I showed you guys one of them today.
Yeah.
You know, you saw it, and you were like, "Holy God, are those? Is that the bill denomination that I think I'm seeing?" Yeah. And I'm counting.
Yeah,
I'm like,
boy.
1. What's up, fucker?
Yeah, I wish my socks had sex and shit out some $100 bills.
I get excited when I find a $5 bill in my pocket. I can only imagine what it's like to go through the sock drawer.
I find a $1 bill in my jeans before I put them in the wash. I'm
was
ecstatic.
like, yeah,
That's
like
a half a Mountain Dew.
I was like, Pop, what the fuck are you doing with this much cash? Jesus Christ.
I was the same way when my grandparents died.
All
and
got to
my-
go to the bank.
When my dad's aunt died, we found shit stuffed everywhere. I like behind paneling. There's what's this book on the wall?
Then like there's furniture like that's old and like real old. Like everything in the living room is real solid fucking wood. So it's, and we're not talking like just crappy, like it's all wood.
It's not
real
Bob's
wood.
Discount.
There's no particle board. It's all solid wood, top to bottom. So everything in the chair that my dad died in. All right, the recliner that I sit in now because it's Pop spot. The recliner in the living room. He was telling me he bought it because he loved it before he got really weak and sick at the end. But when they bought it, it was a $1,600 recliner.
Wow.
It's some of the most pristine chocolate leather you've ever seen. It's the most amazing chair. But he's like, this chair was $1,600. It doesn't even have heat, massage, or nothing. It's just a fucking recliner.
It don't tickle your balls or nothing.
But they didn't do anything that way. Nothing they bought was cheap.
My grandparents were the same way.
Everything here is of the most is of the highest quality, and it's full of like vintage shit.
Yeah, when my dad's father died, the house he was living in, which had been the house that my dad grew up in Groton, they went through the house and had an auctioneer come in to quote them on what they could potentially get just in furniture. It was unbelievable. All Ethan Allen. There were no department store. Big box.
There isn't a vinyl anything in here.
Yeah,
everything is like Italian leather.
Yep,
European leather.
Not split grain leather. It's full grain leather.
It's full grain.
Nice and thick leather.
It's thick. All the wood is complete wood. You can see the grain from the top. You look underneath to the shelf, and it's the same wood grain on the bottom that's on the top. It's not wrapped. It's wood. Whoa. Everything is heavy as fuck.
This ain't no IKEA couch.
No. Like it's just the highest quality.
Oh wait! I hear.
It's the symphony.
It's the symphony of dysfunction.
Now, see, I have pit bulls and a completely open house right now. Those dogs could be. Do you hear? Not for nothing, but shout out to my 3 girls. God bless Grace. She's right here. She don't make a goddamn sound ever anymore. She's very, very.
I get the orchestra.
But yeah,
yay,
guys! Just so you know, there's 3 fucking pit bulls in this house, and you wouldn't even fucking know it.
No, they're always quiet.
I'm doing a live show. These guys are fucking amazing.
Yeah, my guys
They
not so
really
much. A little,
Well,
little
we,
tap.
we've come to that time of the evening where we ask you, do people comment, do whatever
The
you got
people.
to do, share the show, come up with show ideas. We don't know what we're doing next week, and guess what? Neither do you.
Yeah,
So-
I have no idea. We we seem to be. I don't know. I seem to be enjoying the
The riffing.
the riffing and not really having a show. I'd like to know to the people on Facebook and anybody, if anybody's listening on fucking Twitter. I don't know if anybody is or not, but we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube.
Elon, send us a message.
Somebody, nigga, somebody, please send us a message. The not having a topic seems to have a really nice conversational flow. I'm not saying we can't come up with some shit, but I think we do it all right. Let us know is kind of what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
What do
everybody
you
who's
prefer?
listening.
Do you
Yeah,
have a
you know,
preference?
because we can mix it up.
Do you not
What
give a
I'd really
shit?
like is somebody to tell us about some shit that they're pissed about, so that we can do a show,
Mhm.
and then we can include a guest.
That's right. And we'll call it the shit that you're pissed about.
That's right, the shit that you're pissed about show, and
And
we
shit-
can do a bunch of those, like 2 or 3. So,
Mhm.
Sammy, if there's something you're pissed about, let us know.
Absolutely. And tell us how many genders you are. Are you a quadrupagender?
763.
Oh,
I'm a-
Jesus.
I'm a-
Christ.
I'm a septogenarian.
Septogenarian.
Septo.
So you got
Genitarian.
seven different genders rolling through you.
I'm one away from you.
I got you.
Seven. SEBEN.
SEBBIN. Seven.
Seven.
Leon loves the idea. Great idea. We just keep
It's-
riffing, or ask one of you
It's
guys
like-
to come around and talk about what you're pissed off about.
It's like Spinal
Yeah, for
Tap.
real.
It goes to 11.
Yeah, for real. Her
11. ELEBBIN.
Our amps go to 11.
To 11.
11.
Why don't you just make 10 the highest? Because
our
these go to
amps-
11.
11.
These go to 11.
I love it that Marshall, for their big stacks, actually put 11 on their
11.
amps.
They changed
Nice.
it after, yes, some of their
love
newer
it.
age shit. Yes, has an
I love
11.
it.
All right. So, Herm, find the music, and Lynch, tell these folks how much we love them and where they can find us.
We love you so much that we are available on Twitter, the YouTubes, and the Facebook,
And the Instagram, don't forget.
and Instagram.
And the
And-
Instagram.
We don't do the TikTok, do we?
Not
Nah,
yet.
Not yet.
You gotta
Not
have
yet.
enough. We need 1,000 of you fuckers to join up before we can get to TikTok.
If you want people to flood, dude, I got an idea. If you want people to flood to our page right now, put a hashtag Chili DeCastro in the YouTube. Trust me, we'll get viewers.
Hashtag look at my
Hashtag-
PP. What?
No, hashtag Chili
Uh-huh.
DeCastro. DE.
Chili de Castro. All right.
Yes.
All
I
right.
guarantee
I'm-
we'll at least get 10 views, because if people are
Ooh.
searching that, eh,
All right.
Why
Play a
are
little
people
trick.
searching Chili DeCastro?
That's what I need to know now. What
oh,
the
that's
fuck's
a whole
going-
YouTube.
That's a whole
YouTube.
great. We just got a whole nother show.
That's the whole episode, bro. A whole episode about that.
Not even the Google machine is helping me with this.
All right.
Do it on YouTube.
All right, sir. Are we checking out?
We are checking out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us 3 blithering idiots do whatever the fuck it is we do once a week.
We do it kind of okay.
And we will. Oh, my shit just went out. God damn it. Hold on. Give it a minute. Oh, it's going to look at my pretty little face. There it is.
Oh, dear God.
All right. Yeah, what's up? All right. We are out. We will see you all next week.
I changed my facial recognition to my butt. Gotcha.
God damn it. I'm the edible one.
Look, Mom, on a roller coaster.
Get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck?